Optimistic nihilism has become the internet's favorite philosophical painkiller. The idea is simple: the universe is huge, you are tiny, and nothing matters, so just have fun. It sounds liberating. It feels like a massive weight being lifted off your shoulders. But before you build your entire worldview on this, you need to ask yourself, is this actually true? Or is it just a coping mechanism? Trusting a philosophy just because it makes you feel good is a dangerous game. Why shouldn't you trust it? Because optimistic nihilism acts like a sugar high. It works perfectly when life is going well, when you are healthy, fed, and entertained. Nothing matters, so I'll eat this pizza and watch a movie is a great philosophy for a Friday night. But it completely collapses when life gets hard. Trusting a philosophy that only works when you are happy is like trusting a boat that only floats when the water is calm. The core promise is that because the universe has no purpose, you are free to create your own. This sounds empowering, but it's often a trap. If meaning is something you just invent like a game of make-believe, deep down, your brain knows it's fake. You can't trick yourself into finding deep purpose in video games or hobbies if your soul is asking, why am I here? The moment you stop distracting yourself, the created meaning evaporates. One of the biggest reasons not to trust this philosophy is how it handles pain. It tells you that every mistake and humiliation will be forgotten. That might help with embarrassment, but it doesn't help with tragedy. Telling a grieving parent or a victim of injustice that it doesn't matter because the universe ends in heat death isn't just unhelpful, it's insulting. A philosophy that shrugs at suffering is not a philosophy you should trust with your life. Here's the darker side: if nothing matters and we just want to have fun, what happens to morality? Optimistic nihilism has no answer for why you shouldn't be selfish if it makes you happy. If a dictator finds meaning in power, who are you to say they are wrong? A philosophy without an objective moral compass is like a map without a north. It works fine until you need to know which way is actually right. Critics argue that optimistic nihilism is an oxymoron, a contradiction. True nihilism is the rejection of all value. Adding optimistic is just a marketing tactic to make the void sellable. It's nihilism light. If you want the truth, you have to look at the heavier alternatives. You shouldn't trust the light version when the full weight of existence is pressing down on you. If we strip away the fun branding, we are left with existentialism. Jean-Paul Sartre didn't tell people to have fun. He said we are condemned to be free. He understood that creating your own meaning isn't a playground game. It's a terrifying burden. You should trust existentialism more because it admits the terror. It doesn't sugarcoat the responsibility of being the only author of your life. Sartre called this feeling nausea, the dizziness of realizing that nothing forces you to be good, or hardworking, or loving. You have to choose it every second. Optimistic nihilism tries to cure the nausea with distraction. Existentialism says, feel the nausea. That dizziness is the proof that you are truly alive. Trust the dizziness, not the distraction. Why trust existentialism? Because it values authenticity over happiness. Optimistic nihilism chases the dopamine hit of bonus points. Existentialism chases the hard reality of being true to yourself, even when it hurts. A meaningful life is often a difficult one, not a fun one. The trust you place in a difficult truth is always stronger than the trust you place in an easy lie. Optimistic nihilism treats you like a tourist in the universe. Look around, take photos, leave. Existentialism treats you like a citizen. You aren't just passing through, you are defining what humanity is. Every action you take sets a precedent for everyone else. That is a heavy weight, but it's a weight that grounds you. Tourists drift, citizens build. Optimistic nihilism tries to use logic to make you feel better. The universe is big, so your problems are small. But human emotions aren't logical. Your heartbreak feels infinite, even if the galaxy is bigger. You shouldn't trust a philosophy that uses size to invalidate your feelings. Enter Albert Camus in Absurdism. Camus didn't say it's okay because nothing matters. He said the conflict between your need for meaning and the universe's silence is absurd. It's a cosmic joke. But instead of laughing it off, he suggested we revolt. Don't trust the universe to give you peace. Trust your own ability to stand up to the silence and scream, I matter. Anyway, optimistic nihilism invites you to a party at the end of the world. Absurdism introduces you to Sisyphus, the man pushing a boulder up a hill forever. Optimistic nihilism says quit the job and party. Absurdism says push the rock and find your victory in the struggle. Trust the struggle. The party ends, but the rock is always there. There is a powerful energy in spite. The universe wants me to be nothing? Fine. I will be everything just to spite it. This rebellious joy is more durable than the passive optimism of nihilism. You can trust spite to get you out of bed on the worst days. You can't always trust fun. Optimistic nihilism focuses heavily on the external world, stars, galaxies, the heat death. It tells you to look out there to feel better. Stoicism tells you that is a mistake. The external world is out of your control. Trusting the universe to make you feel free is risky because the universe can be cruel. You need to look inward. You shouldn't trust your first impression of events. Optimistic nihilism says it doesn't matter. Stoicism says it is what it is now. How do I judge it? It's about disciplining your mind to separate the event from your reaction. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about mastering your processing of it. Optimistic nihilism defaults to pleasure or happiness as the goal, but pleasure is fleeting. Stoicism argues that virtue character is the only true good. You can lose your money, your health, and your planet, but you cannot lose your character unless you choose to. Trust the thing that cannot be taken from you. Stoics used a technique called the view from above, imagining yourself looking down on Earth. It sounds like optimistic nihilism, but the goal is different. It's not to feel small and meaningless. It's to see the interconnectedness of humanity. It's to realize you are part of a whole, not just a lonely speck. Trust the connection, not the isolation. Real optimism isn't assuming things will be fun. Real optimism is knowing that even if things are not fun, you can handle it. Stoicism builds resilience. Optimistic nihilism avoids the need for resilience by pretending the stakes are low. Trust the philosophy that hands you a shield, not the one that tells you there is no war. Optimistic nihilism is a philosophy for physics, for stars and atoms. But we are biology. We are mammals. We need connection, tribe, and love. You shouldn't trust a philosophy that works for a rock but fails for a human heart. We are wired to care. Pretending we aren't is fighting our own biology. Secular humanism corrects the trust gap. It says, okay, the universe doesn't care, but I care, and you care. We become the source of meaning for each other. You can trust the hand of a friend more than you can trust the concept of a nebula. Meaning is a horizontal exchange between people, not a vertical download from the stars. Optimistic nihilism says you will be forgotten. That is a half-truth. Your name will be forgotten, but your actions create ripples. If you are cruel, you leave a legacy of trauma. If you are kind, you leave a legacy of healing. Trust the physics of cause and effect. Your life has weight because it impacts others. And finally, we must ask, what if the nihilism part is just wrong? What if the universe isn't a dead machine? Trusting the materialist view 100% shuts the door on mystery. Whether it's consciousness, the God interaction in the brain, or the simple intuition of the soul, don't trust a philosophy that claims to have solved the mystery of existence by declaring it empty. You don't have to reject the science. The universe is big, but you can reject the conclusion. You can combine the awe of the cosmos with the responsibility of existentialism, the resilience of Stoicism, and the warmth of humanism. Build a philosophy you can actually trust, one that holds up in the dark. Here's the final test. Imagine your worst day. Imagine losing everything. Does optimistic nihilism comfort you then? If the answer is no, then don't make it your foundation. Build your house on rock, not on the sand of fun. Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Optimistic nihilism removes the why. It leaves you only with the how. Have fun. But when the how gets hard, you will need that why. Go find it. It's waiting for you beyond the void. So, step out of the playground. Stop pretending the void is a jacuzzi. Face the emptiness. Feel the weight of your freedom, and start the hard, beautiful work of building something real. It's not optimistic. It's not nihilistic. It's just real. If you are ready to stop settling for easy answers and start asking the hard questions, you are in the right place. Subscribe to Mind, Soul, and Reality. We don't promise it will always be fun, but we promise it will be true. See you in the next one.